Remember, everything's energy. So what you say and what you do has the same effect. People say, "Oh, well, I said that I didn't do it, so I didn't do it, so that means it's okay." No, the fact that you said it, you put it out there. It's an energy. You have already, you've done something. You have already caused a rip in the consciousness, in the matrix. Already caused something by you just saying it. So don't think that if I say things something and don't do it, then it's a less of a so-called sin, or it's a lesser bad because I never do it. I only thought it. It's the same thing. You saying or doing or even thinking is all energy, right? So a person can say something about somebody else that can affect that person energetically without you even going and smacking that person. You can say something negative about that person, right? And that thing that you say to that person, to somebody else about somebody else, goes and gets spread around. And then before you know it, there's all these people are talking bad things about that person. That's already affecting that person. So you got to be careful what you are saying, because it's also important as well. What you're thinking, what you're saying, and what you're doing all has the same effect, in other words, right? So darkness, being what it is, right? It's all about separatism. Darkness and light, two expressions of the same source, as I said earlier on, right? At the highest level, both darkness and light originate from the same source, God, consciousness, or the infinite creator, right? So the story goes that God, the creator, needed to see or feel or experience both the light and the dark, right? So that's why we have duality in this game of life. We have darkness, we have light, right? Then you have the choice to live the way you want to live, right? Remembering that you are light. This is the light universe. This is a light universe, because we feel uncomfortable when we see bad things happening to people, right? We feel uncomfortable when you see children dying in wars, because this is the universe of light. However, there are people in this universe of light who have chosen to align more to darkness, to do things against humanity, to do things against nature. You understand? There are people that are doing that. Now, the question is for us, the people of light, to have compassion and maybe pray and speak positive about those people, so that one day they can also change from the darkness and then accept the light. You understand? That's how it is. It's a yin and a yang. It's the yin and the yang, because we do have the law of polarity, yeah, and duality, right? So you have to, where you find goodness, you're gonna find badness, right? So it's about you creating a balance. It's about us individually in our private lives making choices that align to the light instead of making choices that align to darkness. It's all about that. All right, so here we go. So guys, if you have not as yet subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. My channel and my content is all about content. It's all about spirituality, self-development, self-awareness, understanding who you are, and understanding the game of life, and understanding the laws of engagement here outside of the mundane human laws that we put out there. That's all about punishing other people, put them in prison. It's about separatism. It's not about love and unity. So our laws are also kind of aligned to darkness because of the things that we are doing, right? Segregating people, punishing them, putting them in prisons, and it doesn't help any person, doesn't help the system. In the history of, for example, prisons, putting people in prisons, has the world become any a better place? Has it achieved anything? It has not, because once you don't see the root of why a person is doing crime, they separate from themselves, from divine source. They separated themselves from love and understanding. They don't feel enough, so they align more to the darkness, right? So you, or person of light, must have compassion and understand. That's what Jesus was saying in the New Testament, in the time in the first century, right? In Jerusalem, he was trying to teach the people about the gift of love and light, to forgive others and embrace people for who they are, and understand why people are doing the things they are doing, and also forgive them and give them a chance to also change, instead of you just condemning them and put them in a prisoner. in a prison. And then the irony of the whole drama is that you, as a citizen, the person who was the victim of the crime, must pay for that person to be in jail for however long. But that person is not getting any help to change his understanding and his consciousness to become a better person. Instead, he's kept there and he must stay and be punished for that period of time. And then when they come out of prison, we are all shocked to see that the people are still doing the same crime because they haven't been taught about love, compassion, understanding, and forgiveness. You understand that there's a better part to take than you just hurting and taking from other people, that there is a true truth in abundance and prosperity. We don't have to take and steal from other people. You don't have to kill the next person for you to eat. You see, a lot of people are living in that consciousness, low level of awareness that you need to kill for you to eat. You need to hurt somebody. You need to take somebody else, like how hijacking of cars and stuff like that. Take from somebody else so that you can have. Does it make sense? That's why there's a lot of imbalances here, because a lot of us, even our systems, is more aligned to darkness instead of oneness and love and compassion. Right? So are we going to challenge the system? No, we're not going to challenge the system because people are afraid to put their thoughts out there, what they really believe in. They're afraid of not being accepted by their communities and their friends. They're afraid of people laughing at them and stuff like that. That is why religion has failed. Religion has failed humanity because religion doesn't teach people to love. It teaches people to compare and judge. It teaches people to condemn others. It doesn't teach people to love and accept. That's why the system is imbalanced. That's why we have all these injustices happening, right? And then we use our religions to justify. Like, for example, in the Islamic religion, it's been used a lot for the bombings and stuff like that. That this is my religion. It's my religion says that this land is mine, taking the land from the Palestinians and all those things. A lot of people have died in that war, right? In the name of being being a Palestinian and being a Israeli. Just because you have a different culture or background, it makes you more superior than the next person, right? That's the imbalance that we have. The world is full of darkness where people feeling separate from others, right? Buying into the process, into the gaslighting concept that there is not enough, that there is not enough wealth, not enough land, not enough success, not enough money. There's enough of everything. This is the place of abundance and prosperity, right? So the reason why the world is the way it is because a lot of people living in the darkness, they're living in separation, right? And I'm not talking about being evil. It's a state of forgetting who you truly are and being separate from source, feeling that you need to accumulate and hoard energy, attention, and power in attempt to recreate your current connection with source. Right, for example, when somebody has a lot of money, has a good job, and has a good home, feels safe in life, right? They feel connected to God. They feel as if God is now has heard their prayers and their requests, right? It's a simple concept, guys. A lot of people don't feel like God has heard their prayers and their requests. So they decide to separate themselves unconsciously by them dabbling in negative things that actually separate them further from divine source. They start taking and they start doing things like selling their souls, say, aka, right? Doing things against their morality so they can have that money and have that power, right? A lot of people in the world are living in this condition. And in this time of awareness and awakening, where people are being more aware and awakened to the reality of this place, so you understand that there is plentiful, that the system that's been running this reality speaks about scarcity, not having enough. Everything's about competition. You understand? And this energy of separatism, right, is magnetic. It's about power and control, taking you control by force, right, through control, getting your fulfillment by control and taking from others, right? So if we want to live in light, we need to understand that every decision that we make in life can be and should be of light. not of darkness. If you want to change the world and make your life a better place and make the world a better place, we should be feeding from the light. The light is a state of remembrance and union, awareness of that you connected to divine source, that you are source, right? Remember that the energy that you need is already there. Divine source is plentiful for every single person. Understand who you are and say no to hurting other people. Hi, Fanny. How are you doing, lovely? Hope you're doing well. Good morning. Hope you're doing well, love. Thank you for joining my live. I'm about to even finish, right? Today we're speaking about darkness and the light. And I went in depth about explaining that darkness is not necessarily evil. It's just separation from divine source, separation from love, separation from abundance, separation from wholeness and oneness. And the light remembers itself that I am connected to divine source, that I'm whole, that there is abundance and prosperity in this reality, right? That I am enough. I don't need to take from other people. There's plentiful, right? That's why we have this concepts of manifesting now. People want to know how to manifest more in their lives. Simple way of doing it, simple trick is to understand that you are light, that you are plentiful, that you already have. You are focusing on the material reality. You're seeing the lack and you're focusing on the lack, not understanding that you are plentiful, that you are provided for, that you have enough. All you need to do is focus on what you have and be grateful for what you have. And then understand what you want and work towards it. You're able to actually get more. Right? That's now living from the light. So manifesting and what you want in life. They always speak about you being grateful, having gratitude, to have trust and faith. That's all about speaking about living in the light, living in abundance and prosperity. Right? You receive directly from source, from God, rather than having to take and accumulate from others. Okay. You believe in oneness. There's plentiful to go around. There's plentiful of money, plentiful of success, plentiful of health and abundance for every single person. Because divine source, the universe, uh, divine consciousness is always about abundance and prosperity. It's not about lack. Lack is about darkness, guys. When you believe in lack, you need to question yourself. Why do I believe in lack? Because lack is linked to darkness, separation from God, separation from the universe and nature. Because nature's plentiful. There's grass, it grows and grows, never stops growing. We cut it, it keeps growing, it keeps growing because it's plentiful. Those people that live in communities where you have yards, you cut your grass every time and it grows because this universe is about abundance and prosperity. So when we go back to basics, back to nature and understand it is plentiful, plentiful of everything for every single person. Now you are living more in the light, not living in the darkness and separation and lack, right? So if you have not as yet subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I do lives on a weekend, Saturday and a Sunday. I didn't do one yesterday because we had some electricity issue here at KZN, right? So I couldn't do my live yesterday, right? So but I normally do my lives on Saturdays and Sundays, and maybe on a holiday if there's a holiday, right? So if you have not as yet, as I said, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. My channel is all about spirituality, self-awareness, and self-development. Thank you, sweetie pie. Thank you, Fanny. Thank you. I love that. Thank you for that, for the compliment. Right, so go ahead and subscribe, lovies, right? And know that if you have any question, like any topic that you want me to talk about, go ahead and also mention that you'd like me to make a video or speak about something during a live, or anything to do with spirituality, self-development, and awareness. Whatever it is, any question, metaphysical things, esoteric, occult stuff, and so whatever you want to know. But remember one thing for sure, the occult is nothing demonic. The occult is just hidden information. This whole system is actually built on occultic information about numerology, about all these things, symbolism. This is what's actually built in this reality. You understand? There's nothing to be afraid of. So I know that in Christianity or churches are taught you what's demonic, what's not demonic. Being demonic means that you away from the light, being away from the oneness of God and love of God. That's been demonic in my thinking. You're away from God, you're away from wellness. Because if you go and do some research on what is a demon is separate from divine light, from oneness, from God, from love. It separated itself as part of the darkness, as I said. Right? So a demon is something or an entity that separated itself from love. Right? That's what a demon is. It separates it from itself from light. And people are making choices accordingly. So they're aligning themselves to demons. That's how they get demon possessed. Because they believe in their mind, they believe in separation, believe in lack, believe that this place is a horrible place. They believe there's not enough. So what you will do then, you will then attach yourself to the demon of lack and suffering. Because where there's lack, there's suffering, right? Basically. And remember that love is within you. And when you have love, all things are possible. When you have love within yourself, all things are possible. Right? So, yeah. So, go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you have not as yet. As I said before, I'm building my numbers. Thank you to all those 200 and something people, 214 people that are now subscribed to my channel. Right? I hope that you guys will be blessed with my content as I put in my videos, right? If you have any questions, go ahead and ask me the questions. Don't be shy. If you have any topic you want me to talk on, maybe you've seen it somewhere else and somebody else spoke about another channel, go ahead and let me know what you want to know, and I will now do my research, go in and ask my higher self and my guides for information regard to the topic, and I will talk about it, right? Remember that you are the master of your life. You are the master of your life. Live life like you the master. Make those decisions in your life this week that add value, that make you happy, that make you feel at peace in your heart. And choose the light above the darkness, okay? Choose the light above the darkness. Don't judge others. Don't criticize others. And neither do you, should you be judging and criticizing yourself. Don't do that to yourself as well. Because I know that we can be our worst judges. We can judge ourselves very harshly and criticize. We are our worst critics. Try and be at ease with yourself this week. Understand that you can only live and do according to your consciousness. The more you expand your consciousness to love and light, the more you're able to live in love and light and be able to forgive those around you, right? And remember that just because you're spiritual doesn't mean you won't have problems and challenges. You'll have them because you're going to be tested to see that you really had this conviction and this ideology. You shall be tested. So you have to live what you believe, right? So my channel is about you living what you believe and trying to better yourself, not to change other people, but to better yourself so that you can become a better person. And when you change yourself, you see then the world will also change gradually and slowly when you become a being of true light. Not saying that you're Christian, but truly living like somebody who is a being of light and love, forgiving others and also having compassion for yourself and for others as well. So may this week bring you this love and peace and compassion that you're going to give to others as well, right? So guys, enjoy this week, guys, and keep well. All right. Ciao, ciao. Bye.